All right, I have another one, but if you got one, we could go for it.
Oh no, I was going to say, do you want to take us out? But give the single digit number of people watching us one
Okay,
more or clamoring for it.
this is really just for my own enjoyment to see what your reaction is to this. Uh, Question: is there an argument that Jalen Williams is better or has a brighter future than Paolo Banchero? Because this is 1-2 for Rookie of the Year right now, I think pretty clearly. Do you want some numbers?
Yeah, I might need like a day to recover
Okay.
from the question, but hit me.
So the numbers are like obviously they favor Banchero because he's the youngest to score this many or that many. Like, so this is more of a and look, OKC is plus 0.8 points per, like less than 1 point per 100 possessions in the positive with Williams on the floor and SGA off. And when SGA is off, it's not like Jalen Williams is running the offense. Sometimes it's Josh Giddey, but he is having a real hand in it. The basis of this question is mostly I think Banchero clearly has one way to be great, which is you're a top option scorer at a premium position, right? He's a big forward that could be your first option scorer. But it's kind of iffy, right? He's been an atrocious shooter, especially the second half of the season. He was like 1 for 33 or 3 for 33 in February from deep. His true shooting percentage, I think, is below 50%. It's just like he's been just a volume guy, right? He's a rookie, fine. I get it. I still think his potential to be the best player on a really good team and your number one scoring option is legit. I think Williams has a lot more ways to become a very good, all-star level guy. So I guess it's just about your tolerance for like a risk reward kind of setup. But Williams is a big wing who has point guard instincts, who can shoot it from three. He's proved over after a cold start, can defend the best guy on the other team and would do it more if Lou Dort was not on his own team, can get to the basket, is getting fouled a ton. He just looks to me like the type of guy that could be the second best player on a really good team as like a floor. I really think that there's building momentum based on what he's done the last 2 months, that Jalen Williams is going to be a guy that is not just going to be, hey, remember when Paolo ran away with Rookie of the Year and went on to make 10 All-Star games? I think Williams is going to be closer to like, there's going to be a conversation, different players, but I think the number of paths Williams has to being a really good player in a number of different ways makes it an interesting kind of thought experiment for like which kind of prospect you value.
Man,
Total devil's advocate case. I'll admit it. Devil's advocate right here. I think you'd pick Paolo, right? Because but still, it's interesting.
it just comes back to, so you mentioned with the stuff Seth Partnow has done recently on the value of shot making. And so you're going to dig into, and I think Jalen Williams, look, half of his made shots this year have basically been unassisted. Paolo Banchero has been about 55% of his shots have gone unassisted. That number is going to climb because he is that type of player, and he's going to get more of those unassisted jump shot looks. Even when you look at it now, like sub 10% of Jalen Williams's 3-point attempts have been, or 3-point makes have been unassisted. Paolo Banchero is already at basically a third of his 3-point makes have been unassisted. And maybe that's not a big enough difference, but I'm looking at someone who can be more of a self-creator from different levels. And so do I think Jalen Williams will be more plug and play, more scalable, maybe than Paolo Banchero, to where if you put Paolo Banchero on your team and you want him to be the third best player, it's harder than if you want him to be the first or the second best player. That's fair, but I'm still going to take, in this case, right now, the player to me that has the highest end individual outcome. And that is by far, to me, Paolo Banchero, because of how valued the stuff he does on offense is. And so if Jalen Williams comes, how does Jalen Williams get there? Might be more of an interesting question for me personally. And it's, if he just comes back and it just has like does he have like a more of a pull-up jumper all of a sudden, like to create off the bounce? And I don't know, that's way easier said than done. That is next level. Talk about having an agenda. My God.
Jalen Williams did go to Santa Clara, and I have obvious agendas. I just want to get one last little quick. Obviously, like the goal of first of all, Banchero is a year younger. That's a big factor too. Like that, if you're talking about rookies in terms of growth trajectory, and obviously the goal of picking high in the draft is to get the guy with some chance, however small it is, of being, a superstar. And I think Banchero has that, just to argue against myself. But let's look at in March, we got 8 games, so not a big sample. Williams is averaging 19.6, 6.6, and 4.9, shooting 56% from the field, 47.8% from deep, 66.5 true shooting. And I just this guy's going to be so good, Dan. I just want to if we do nothing else in this podcast, I just want to get on record that Jalen Williams is going to be really, really good.
We talk plenty of thunder for a national podcast, I'd argue. So he will be talked about continuously. I don't look first team All NBA very clearly. Yes, no brainer. I think second rookie of the year ballot. Yeah. I don't even know who the alternative would be. Who's going to finish third? We haven't done our rookie of the year ballots yet, but that's
Kessler. Got to be Kessler.
Yeah, that's fair. Less of an open-ended question than I thought. To have him better than Pat, I just look at it and go, maybe it's a flawed way of thinking. Who's more likely to be the engine of an offense? And that's just Paolo Banchero.
For sure.
If you're asking who's going to be the third best player on a team, then yeah, I think Jalen Williams is if you told me that Paolo Banchero can't be the best or second best player on a really good team, then maybe that's when you prefer Jalen Williams, because Paolo Banchero's game doesn't look like it's situated. But I even look at Paolo Banchero, you mentioned the youth, he's been better defensively than I thought he would be this season. So no, he's not going to be what Jalen Williams is when he can just go and cover one of the two or the first or second best guy on the other team's offense. But he looks like he's going to be fine if you want to put him in situations where you need him to switch, that he's just going to be fine. And so, man, I'm surprised. I can't believe that was one of the questions you asked, but do you want to take us out of here?
I do. I just want to, paraphrase what you said. Jalen Williams is definitely going to be better than Paolo Banchero. We agree on that.